We're going to start it off with the one and only Logan Panchot from Builder DAO.
Wow. Thank you for the warm welcome. If you don't know me, my name is Logan, and I am on a mission to implement decentralized governance into the fabric of society. And today, I get the privilege of representing over 40 builders in the Cardano ecosystem, and I get to tell you all about Cardano Builder DAO. So I'm going to tell you how it works, our governance structure, the membership process. We're really going to get into it. So the first exciting thing to understand is the origin story. And as good things start oftentimes, it started on a Zoom call. And I was on a call with my co-founder, and we saw this opportunity being presented with the treasury being unlocked for the community. And what we knew was Cardano ecosystem has to have increasing users and on-chain activity for survival and growth. But in order to make this happen, it's like, what did we need to do? We didn't have funding structures in the ecosystem that were tailor-made to grow projects. So we saw a gap in the current funding ecosystem on Cardano. So Catalyst is an awesome tool for Cardano, and it will continue to be. It can fund these early stage funding mechanisms through a milestone-based process, and that's awesome. But what's missing is this is not purpose-built for growth stage products. So products that are near product market fit, they have a functioning product, they have users, they need scaling capital. They don't need idea stage grants and to put in ideas they think the community think will pass. They need to focus on what they need to increase their KPIs, which we'll get more into that. So we saw this ecosystem risk that without follow-on capital, even promising projects stagnate or won't grow the ecosystem. So where does this follow-on capital normally come from? In many other blockchain ecosystems, it comes from maybe the foundation or venture capital investment, but these things aren't really present in Cardano at this point, and certainly not enough. So the vision of Cardano Builder DAO is to create a self-sustaining, scalable funding engine for the Cardano ecosystem. So what that results in is a coordination layer for builders to collaborate and compete with the ultimate goal of making Cardano sustainable by increasing on-chain metrics and users. Community members. I know there's some builders in the crowd here. What's up, guys? Yes, sir. Yeah. So this all started with it's a grassroots movement, and we just started reaching out to our friends who we know had projects and we know were entrepreneurs in the ecosystem. They were all like, yeah, this is needed. Let's all come together. So over the last 3-4 months, we have Bodega, Dex Hunter, Fluid Tokens, Fluxpoint, Indigo, Iagon, MinSwap, Matera, Sunday Lab, Snag, Vesper, OneChain, InMaker, Liquid, Strike Finance, Strip Drop. All these projects are coming together as a grassroots movement to create a shared treasury that we can all have one goal aligned with. So let's talk about the DAO structure. First things first is this is a 12 million ADA proposal, which is a pretty big ask, right? And where these funds go, they go directly into an Agora DAO treasury. Now, what is important about that? It is an audited and open source library of Plutus scripts meant for collective ownership of resources. So all of the funds that come into this are collectively managed by all of the builders in the DAO. And the DAO implements a one member, one vote structure. So you have 40 projects. Some of them are competitors. A lot of people know each other personally. This is a very good coordination layer because you have all these domain experts in one area coming together to make decisions. Now, one of the hardest things to do was to organize the membership criteria for this DAO, because we want it to be for proven builders, but we don't want it to be exclusive. So this is how it works. We use Project Catalyst as a community sensing mechanism. So if you are a builder with a working product on Cardano, with KPIs you can point to that you have and you want to improve, and you also have a closed out Catalyst proposal, you're in the DAO. You can come and be a requesting member. If you have a working product and you have an approved Catalyst proposal, you can come in as a voting member. Now, with this being said, there are so many great builders that haven't gone through the Catalyst rigmarole. So we use Catalyst, just to go back a little bit, I forgot to say, Catalyst is a great way to do this because the builders will know if you want to close out milestones and get your project approved, you go through some scrutiny. I can see Danny back there nodding his head. You have to go through these milestones, and these reviewers are asking all these questions, making sure you're doing right. So it proves that you can perform under scrutiny and delivers actual stuff. Now, with that being said, a lot of projects haven't done Catalyst before. So what we actually did is we made it so that if you do have a working product, but you haven't been through Catalyst before, you can still get in the DAO. And this is what we did. You can see our governance portal. We voted in Splash Labs. We voted about Farm Roll, Tokyo Labs, Strike Finance, Local Cooperativa, Zerberus. So these are projects that they're Cardano builders for sure, but they haven't gone through. So we have a clause to be able to vote them in. You can kind of see what it looks like and how it works. I think I went too far. Yep, and then governance workflow. So how it works is when projects need to get or want to ask for funds from the Treasury, they all submit a proposal. I'm going to get into the template in a second here because it explains a lot of things. But first, this governance action goes in a discussion thread. Goes in a discussion stage where people can come ask questions, ask clarifying questions, say why they like it, they don't like it. And then once it's done with that, this same governance action moves into a voting period for a temperature check where all members, they all have one vote, right? They either upvote or they downvote it. And if they get more upvotes than downvotes, then that company's proposal moves on to the next phase, which is the Treasury withdrawal. Now, the Treasury withdrawal is a fully on-chain vote carried out by the Agora DAO, where the majority of members must vote yes in order to, okay. The majority of members must vote yes in order for the smart contract to automatically pass and distribute the funds to all of the different companies. The next big thing is semi-annual cycles. So we operate on a 6-month basis. So projects request 6 months of funding. They get their funding. They have to come back in 6 months to report back on their KPIs to see whether the social consensus layer wants to give them follow-on funding. We also have a semi-annual cycle with membership. So we need to have stable membership in order to, for compliance reasons and also for smart contracts reasons to make sure our quorums can be set. So every 6 months we bring in new members. There's a handful of projects already that are looking to get in for the next one. Then we also have board members. This is just the administrative function, and there's 5 community members that are actually on the board, and their job is to make sure that the governance process is carried out. All the members know when governance actions are happening, compliance requirements are met. Now, I want to lock in on the fact that the CB DAO is centered around KPIs. So when you have your Treasury withdrawal application, it doesn't look the same as Catalyst. It doesn't look the same as your Treasury proposal. This is what you're filling out. You're telling us at least 2 of these metrics: your monthly active users, your revenue, your downloads, your installs, where you want to see them in 6 months, where you want to see them in 12 months. And that's what you're going to be judged against. It's not whether you're completing milestones. It's whether you're meeting your goals and KPIs. We're going as far as to build a dashboard with tap tools so that not only can we see the collective metrics of the DAO, but you can also see all of the projects that have requested and what their KPIs are and how they're growing. And with North Star metrics, I kind of talked about this, but the North Star metrics are things that the projects need to improve, but also the whole ecosystem benefits from. And then for follow-on funding, the main thing to say here is this is not designed to be a honeypot that projects just keep coming back to. What this is designed to do is to get scaling capital to projects so that they can become either self-sufficient and have enough revenue to be on their own, or be ready to be a venture-backed company with these KPIs. And with the follow-on funding, like I said, you have to come back after 6 months and to report your KPIs. So just to end, this is our vision. We saw this gap in Cardano's funding ecosystem. If we don't increase transaction volume and users and TVL on the Cardano blockchain, then we're in trouble. And these are the builders. I've heard people say it. I know Nate has said stuff like this, like, I'm going to bring billions of transactions to chain. And he's saying it with a straight face. Patrick from InMaker told me the same thing. So many others have told me the same thing. We are going to be the ones that bring the next 100 million transactions and users to Cardano. That is our goal. So we are like 2% from passing this and being funded. We have all of our governance in place. We take our shit really seriously. So please, if you haven't voted for us, vote for us. And if you're not convinced, corner me and let me talk my way out of the corner, and I'll tell you why it's good for Cardano.